to my presentation on the importance and role of strategic management within international organisations. In the next 10 minutes, I will aim to present to you the key principles of strategic management. To begin, here is an overview of how I plan to structure this presentation. Firstly, I will introduce the company, Space NK. I will then follow on with defining strategic and non-strategic decisions and indeed overall management. I will then go on to critically analyse the strategic and non-strategic decisions of Space NK. This will then lead to an understanding of the risk Space NK takes and the management of risk as a whole. I will then present to you recommendations for future success of the business. Finally, I will end with a conclusion and brief summary. The company was founded in 1993 by NK Ltd. Operating within the beauty retail industry, Space NK's vision is to offer a range of high quality and effective beauty products from around the world. It is this vision that has seen Space NK grow into a niche market offering specialist beauty products. The company has grown from one store in the UK to more than 60, as well as 21 stores in the US and 15 concessions in US chain Bloomingdale's. In addition to this, Space NK products are available to purchase online. As identified by Lynch, strategic management can be described as the identification of the purpose of an organisation and actions to achieve that purpose. In order to be successful, every business must implement a structure by which it can plan strategically. In order to plan strategically, it is crucial that corporate management understand the company's vision, mission and key objectives fully. So, what is strategic decision making? This can be defined as a continual process that allows a company to gauge where it is at present, where it wants to be at future, and how it will get there. Effective strategic planning also provides an evaluation of how current strategies are performing, which then can be adapted to form a more successful strategy. So what is non-strategic decision making? Robinson defined these decisions as the short-term and often tactile decisions of a company. The purpose of these is to ensure that the business is making the most of its resources efficiently and is also meeting customer requirements. Within strategic management, there are three types of decision. The first is functional level decisions. These are the general day-to-day decisions of a company and can be made by low-level management. The second is business level decisions. These can be made by senior management and are often short to medium term. Finally, corporate level decisions are often long term and are made by senior management. These are the types of decisions that will be discussed mainly in this presentation. I will now move on to discuss strategic management within Space NK. Although strategic management decisions can be either human resource based, financially based or market based, for the purpose of this report I will concentrate on market based strategies. It is imperative that any company develops an overall international marketing strategy. This report will focus primarily on Ansoff's matrix, the 7 Ps or marketing mix, as well as differentiation of product and services. Competitive analysis shows that Space NK's two main rivals are Molton Brown and Lush. However, Space NK holds the highest market share over these two companies. Therefore, it is important in the marketing strategy of Space NK that it hopes to sustain this market share and therefore will develop relevant strategies in order to do so. In 2001, Space NK revisited its main corporate objective in gaining international growth. This initialised the formulation and implementation of a global strategy. The aim of this was not only to increase sales, but it was to increase the vision of the brand worldwide. In relation to Ansop's Matrix, this strategy was highly risky to Space NK. Not only because it's a growth strategy and it's entering unknown markets, but also it's the first growth strategy that they have overtaken in a country besides the UK. In relation to the marketing mix, this allowed Space NK to target different people in a different place and a different physical environment. This being so, due to their partnership with US national chain Bloomingdale's. Not only did this provide Space NK with an established cellar in which to distribute its products, Bloomingdale's is also a market leader and shares the same vision of selling luxurious items to the consumer. Space NK is still continuing to grow in the US at present, and since launching stores there, it has seen a 60% rise in profits. In 2012, Space NK launched another strategic decision, this time a market extension through e-commerce. It is through this strategy that Space NK wanted to develop their business-to-consumer development, offering a multi-channel platform on which to sell its products. This allowed Space NK products to be viewed globally in one product catalogue. This was a particularly clever strategic decision for Space NK to take, as it works alongside its corporate growth strategy to become global. The introduction of this allowed Space NK to provide a more customer-focused, competitive advantage to their online selling. In 2010, Space NK decided to launch a strategy through market penetration. It was in this move that Space NK developed and implemented a customer loyalty scheme amidst the realisation of the impact of the economic downturn. The year 2009 saw Space NK close 2 of its stores in the UK. Therefore, as in relation with Ansop's Matrix, market penetration seemed the least risky option for the business to take. The primary aim of this strategy was to increase customer retention and loyalty, as well as allowing the company to relate to a different kind of consumer and therefore target a different consumer segment. Furthermore, this allowed Space NK to gain competitive advantage over its two close competitors, Lush and Molton Brown, who still today do not have a customer loyalty scheme. I will now move on to look at the non-strategic decisions of Space NK. Although these are much lower level decisions, they provide tactile strategies in which to increase sales, customer service and customer loyalty. For example, one of Space NK's main competitive advantages is that it offers the highest level of service to its customers, but also offering an unbiased and expert advice on all of the products sold. This is something which differs to all close competitors, such as Lush and Molton Brown, who only stock their own brand in stores and online. Therefore, the need to maintain such a high level of customer care and product knowledge has been recognised by Space NK's owner, Nikki Kinnaird. She therefore developed seminars and workshops in which to take staff. This enhances their learning of both the brand as a whole and each individual product. Such workshops are offered to branches based on their individual performance, although each brand will be involved in at least one seminar or workshop every 3 months, irrespective of their performance. It is important for companies to recognise that with every strategic decision there comes a certain level of risk. Risk can be defined as a situation where several outcomes are possible and the occurrence of them is indefinite. The risks of non-strategic or operational short-term decisions are mainly internal to the business environment. Risk can often be identified using pestle analysis. This is the process by which the company's physical, economic, social, technological, legal and environmental factors can be considered.
Space NK has shown cautiousness towards risk, as it chose to grow into the market of the US, where there were no cultural, political or language barriers. Despite this, the company decided to expand during an economic downturn which showed a high appetite towards risk. Secondly, when implementing the loyalty scheme, Space NK chose market penetration, which is a relatively low risk strategy for the company to take. Furthermore, it imitated the strategies of Boots and Superdrug, who are market leaders in the beauty industry. Therefore, it knew that there was going to be a certain level of success from launching a loyalty scheme.
To the recommendations for Space NK. After evaluating the strategies and risk appetite of Space NK, I would recommend that they differentiate between their target markets in the US and UK. This could lead to increased sales as the consumer will see it more of an individual approach. This could in turn increase Space NK's overall market share in the US, which would work positively with their overall corporate objective of gaining growth and globalisation. Secondly, as more and more of the brands that Space NK sell are becoming available to purchase in department stores in the UK, Space NK should work to differentiate its competitive advantage of offering exceptional customer care. Finally, Space NK should aim to use the customer loyalty schemes to provide more personal promotional drives. This could increase Space NK's flexibility towards risk and economic and environmental environment. I will now move on to a conclusion and brief summary of this presentation. From the evaluation and analysis of Space NK, this presentation has shown that the value of strategic management within international companies is becoming increasingly important. Strategic and non-strategic decision-making is vital if any company wishes to meet its overall corporate objectives. This is heightened by the influx of global marketing, as any company in any location can be thought of as competition. To date, Space NK has been successful in differentiating its brand from competitors both in the UK and the US. It has continued to make big steps towards its key objective of gaining international market growth. Space NK has the ability to recognise the effects of risk both detrimentally and beneficially to the business, therefore making all of the strategic decisions that it has made to the current moment in time as highly successful.
Thank you for watching my presentation today.